Welcome. In this video, we're going to build our video in After Effects. So let's jump into After Effects. First of all, I'm going to create a composition, make sure I have 30 frames and it's 1080 by 1920, so it's vertical. Sometimes I get confused and it's not a problem at all. Even if I create a 1920 by 1080, it's going to be horizontal. I can just change the numbers later and that's it. So here we have our video. I'm going to press Shift and this line to make sure I fit the screen. Now I'm going to press Command Y and I'm going to create a white background. Next, let's copy the script, copy the first line, come to text, create a text layer. Think you need to be original. I will definitely come up with ideas on the fly because I just had an idea. Let's apply change to color effect and we will go from white to black. Hue, saturation, and lightness. Great. And in the very beginning, we'll have our text. Let's select our text. And it's going to be white. Now, let's come to Google and search for lamp. Or not lamp. What is this one called? Maybe we need a lamp drawing. Ah, it's called light bulb. Light bulb drawing PNG. This is not PNG, this is PNG. Great. So I'm going to download this one and I'm going to drag and drop it into After Effects. So we'll call the main comp the just main comp, and then we will have a folder for assets. Okay, let's apply change to color here as well, and let's change it from, let's select the color of it. Hue, saturation, lightness. Great. P. Let's move it up a little bit. Think you need to be original. Actually, I'd like to put this text right in the middle. And we'll have our lamp a little bit lower. Let's call the lamp so that it's like this. I'm going to run text evo script. Once again, you can either get this one or you can do it the way I showed you in the previous project, where you have to open it up and do it with the animate. Select our text. I'm going to open presets and go up, opacity plus words, and apply. I definitely wanted to move a little bit faster, so I'm going to press on U to open the keyframes, see what we have. Let's decrease the delay a little bit so that it's, let's put it to 2. What was the next text we have? Nope. The reason why I'm doing a fast text in the beginning is because for social media, you just want to hook people in immediately. Other than that, if they are not hooked from the very beginning, you lost them. Select our lamp, and I want to experiment a little bit with glow. So I'm going to apply the glow effect, which is this one. Definitely want to increase the radius and the intensity. What I'm trying to do here is I want to create a transition from black to white. And the way I want this transition to happen is the light will emit so much light, it's going to get so much brighter. It's going to make everything white, basically. And we'll have this interesting transition. For that, we need to make it glow. Sometimes in After Effects this happens when we can continue increasing the intensity and it's not going to really increase the intensity. It's like it's stuck for some reason. And a very good plugin that's created for After Effects called a Deep Glow, and I believe it's paid as well. I don't really have it, Deep Glow, so I'm just going to show it to you. I'm pretty sure it's this one from AE Scripts as well. I know it's a really good one, so if you ever want to get it, you can come and check it out. But for this, we can just duplicate the glow. So let me see if I can copy the glow and paste it in. Command D to duplicate it like this. Okay, now we're talking. So let's set a keyframe on glow radius and glow intensity. We'll put glow intensity at 2. And let's press on U here. So this is what we are going to have. Duplicate it again. Command D. Okay, and I'm going to press on U again to see the keyframes, right? So now we can see the keyframes. And from the very beginning, let's have it at glow intensity at 0. When we come here, we are going to have our radius more. So for the first globe, we're going to have a small radius. For the second globe, we are going to have a slightly bigger radius, and for the third one, we are going to have an even bigger radius. Let's duplicate the third one. Command D. It's going to be even more. Going to press on U and U again. We need number 4, and we need to make the radius even bigger. So let's see. Let's see at what point do we have the maximum glow. Okay, so when the glow radius is at 1, so it's important for us to put glow radius here at 1, because it's not going above 1. Let's see. I'm also going to keyframe the opacity on the lamp. So press on T, added a keyframe. Around here, we'll put the keyframe at 100, and here we'll put it at 0, so that this is what we have. For the solid, we need to change the color too. So I'm going to press on the keyframe here, and I'm going to press U. And now let's change the color from black to white. Let's say when it gets to here, put a keyframe to set everything to white. Yes, very interesting transition. It's also a good thing because we had the text in white, we had our bulb in white, and therefore when we have our background turned to white, then we don't even need to kind of animate anything. It just completely disappears. So at this point, we can just make a cut and press on delete. And at this point, we can do this nope one. However, remember, we cannot use emojis in After Effects, so it's important for us to go to Emojipedia. Put the emoji, generate image. I believe we did 600 by 500 previously, so let's generate it, or maybe vice versa. So this one 500, this one 600, generated. Yes. Just to make sure that it's not cut at the top. Download the image. Let's drop it in and put it into assets. So we can call this one lamp, and this one is going to be thumbs down. Thumbs down. So now we need to animate nope. Let's come to T and let's put our text in. Let's make it black. We can customize it later. We can put it like so, and I'm going to cut it to get rid of the part on the left. When we're here, I'm going to once again go to Text Evo and let's select something like left opacity plus character, and let's apply it. So it's going to go like this. While it's going to the right, we are going to have our emoji come from the right. So it's inspired by what we did with the previous video. I'm going to drag and drop it and decrease it in size. So let's put this text in the middle, like so. Press on P, move it to the right, make it a little bit smaller, and let's going to get rid of this punctuation mark, which is just driving me crazy. I hate it. Now let's put it in the very middle at this point, and then when we have the thumbs down, move from the right. It's going to move the text to the left and it's going to wiggle a little bit with the text. Something we did previously. I'm going to put a position keyframe and I'm going to move it out of the frame. Actually, we need to do it vice versa. So it can Fn, F9. Going to select it, move it a little bit. Actually, we need to move it like so that it comes fast to the screen. Let's see the final keyframe, maybe move it a little bit to the left. Great. Now I'm going to create a null object. I'm going to cut it, and let's have thumbs down and the word nope both connected to the null. Actually, we can move our lamp down like so. Let's double check. Yeah, so we can move both of these. And around here, I'm going to set a position and move it a little bit to the left. Going to Fn, F9. Going to duplicate it, parent this null to the second null, press on P, delete this one, and move it a little bit to the right, to the center. And let's do another one. P, delete, parent, move, and then move it to the center. Okay, maybe we need to just have a bit more movement. So this one needs to go more to the left. This one needs to go more to the right. Okay, something happened. Not sure what happened. Let's do it once again. So I'm going to parent, press on P, delete this keyframe, move this one, and move this one to the left. So let's double check that. Maybe we need to have this whole animation start a little bit faster. So let's have this one move a bit more to the left. Oh, sorry, this one. The last keyframe of the first null needs to move more to the left. Then the last keyframe of the second null needs to move more to the right. The last keyframe of the last null needs to move more to the left. Let's see if I move the keyframes a little bit to the right, just to adjust the animation slightly. And potentially we just need to move the keyframes just a little bit closer to each other. Yes. Now let's come to the graph editor and then just, oh, interesting, we have different graphs. So let's press Fn, F9, select all of these and just drag them out a bit. So let's see. Okay, now we need a bit more space between all of these. Everything you see is a remix. Here I was thinking about putting clips of social media onto the screen. I'm going to go to Instagram, going to take a screenshot. I think this is going to be a really great example. So we have a couple of things. I'm going to select everything, press on P. We have our screenshot of Instagram, of social media. Great, so I'm going to press on P, S, and I'm just going to do it like so. The reason why I'm doing this is because I just want to have like overall what's happening. One of the things we can do is we can download kind of like the Instagram page layout and do it with Figma. It's going to take a little bit more time. If you want to learn how to do it, you can watch my other course on how to do it. Just come to my page and you will see it's about Apple UI designs. If you want to learn how to download UI designs or create UI designs and create sort of like Apple style glass animations, you can do it that way. Let's cut this one. I'm going to just remake it here very quickly. I'm going to deselect it and I'm going to draw a line like so. And let me hide it for now. From this video, I'm actually going to create a mask by selecting a shape. And I'm going to select it like this. Now I'm going to import the new Superman. And I'm just going to make it the same length, and I'm going to track matte it. I'm going to press Ctrl S and I'm going to track matte it to the shape. Press on P on the Superman, make it a little bit higher. Okay, this is actually pretty good. You can see this is kind of the Instagram layout. We can create another null and create this to the null. So we'll select these and we will parent it to the null so that I can press on P and move it a little bit down so it's more in the center of the screen. So this is going to be one color. Let's put this color for it. This is going to be another color. Let's do white for this. And for this part, let's make it black or something dark, something like brown. And for the background, let's make it white as well over here so that it's a bit more organized. Let's actually create a transition from Animation Composer. I'm going to go into Starter Precomps Transitions. Let's have a transition something like this. We'll just put it in and we will cut it over here. We're going to delete it and we will add another screenshot of ours about the Superman. Just drag and drop it, press on P and S, move it to the right, just so that I can see the age. So I'm going to cut it, move it a little bit down. Let's just deselect our screenshot. Let's create a shape on top. Let's make the color of the shape, why don't we make it yellow, like this. In the overlay mode, we are going to put multiply so that it's transparent, and I'm going to cut it here. I'm going to move it below the zoom. Now for this part, we also need a linear wipe effect. We will need to animate it. Let's see the completion. Yes, this is kind of what we need. Actually, we need minus 90 degrees. So that goes the opposite way. And let's keyframe it, press on U, come here, and move these around now. So now we can customize this. Let's see if we can do it like so. And now we'll have this highlight effect, like so. Let's take a look at close up. And we can also select these keyframes to Fn, F9 so that it's starting and ending a little bit smooth. Beautiful. While this one is still happening, we will move it like so. Select everything, press on P. While this one is highlighting, we are going to move it a little bit further so that the highlight takes a bit longer. And while it's doing this highlight, I'm actually going to select the screenshot and select this part. I'm going to press Shift Option Command Y to create a null, and I'm going to select these once again. I'm going to parent it to the null, and then I'm going to, whilst it's doing this, I'm going to just zoom in on it like so. And we're going to press Fn, F9 here, select these keyframes, do it like so. Because we're doing the zoom, the linear wipe changed slightly, so we need to change it here as well, like so. Let's see what we have from the very beginning. Think you need to be original? Nope. So I actually very like what we have here. Everything like from this part to the transition. Now we just need to connect these two parts. And it's going to take something for us to do it. We are going to increase the size of the nope, like really increase the size of it. The reason we're able to increase in size and it's not going to lose any quality is because it's an SVG file. Basically the text in After Effects is SVG, and if I increase the size of it, it's going to, if we have this button here, it means it's SVG. It can rasterize. So if I increase the size of, for example, of this part, we increase, and you can see it loses quality, like on the edges here. But because some of the layers have this button, and we can click on some of it, because Nope has it, if I increase it in size, you can see the quality is super sharp, even though we've increased it in size like a lot. And that's what's going to help us. We can basically increase it in size and do a transition this way, sort of as if we're zooming in, but we're not going to zoom in really. I'm going to create another null, and I'm going to basically duplicate this null, press U and delete these keyframes so that I'm now able to control it without affecting any of the previous animations. I'm going to press Shift S to select both P and S, put the initial keyframes like this, and then zoom in and see what we have. Let's select all of this here, move it a little bit to the right. What if we come here and do it with O, for example? Move it a little bit down so that we don't have the edges. Let's see. Smooth it out, select all the keyframes, come here, select it, move it to the right, to the left. And when we have motion blur, it's going to look beautiful. So I'm going to select all of this now, and I will move it to over here. And here's the interesting part what we'll do. I'm going to select all of this, and I'm going to extend it like so. And at this point, I'm going to connect this null to this null so that when we, yes, this is what's going to happen. Let's open these. Let's Press on T to animate the opacity. Press on opacity 100 at this point, and let's move it a little bit to the right. And let's do it like so. Yes, there you go. This screenshot, and I would like to create a mask around it, around something like this. It's controlled by this null, right? Yes. I'm going to duplicate this null, press on P, delete, delete, and I'm going to connect this null to this null, going to create a position, and we are going to move it down. And the reason why I created a mask is so that we don't have like tabs at the top. So I'm going to move it down, select it, press Fn, F9, make it smooth. Let me select this one and make it smooth. Actually, we might not have to do it in the end there. What if we do like so? I have to press Command Z because the animation just kind of got lost a little bit. I see what's happening. I was being a little bit stupid because we don't have just P. We have P and S animated. That's why I was doing that. Okay, press P, connect this null to this null. And now when we move it down, select Fn, F9, do it like so. Let's see. By the way, when the snope happens, we can cut this whole part over here. First of all, we can customize the mask around here. So let's press on M. It's going to open the mask. Going to zoom out a little bit, select these two and move it a little bit down, just like so, so that we don't have this part at the top. Let's create our text. The trick. Put it in the middle. Actually, I have an interesting way of animating this. The trick. Let's put this whole thing in the middle. And let's use the text evo. Let's go down, opacity plus character, apply. Press on U. Delete everything that's before this. And we'll have our text appear like so. Why don't we have this arrow and we can create this arrow? I have this extension in Alfred called, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like TF. If you search for it online, you can easily find it if you use Alfred. Down, and it's going to create an arrow down, which is I'm going to copy, and I'm going to create a text over here. It's going to be an arrow down. Put it in the middle, press on P, move it a little bit higher. I'm going to duplicate this text, press on P, move it down, select, put it in the middle. What I want to do now is I want the arrow to sort of get birthed from this phrase, the trick. So it's like the trick is going to get pulled down and then the arrow will appear. Let's animate position P. It will come from here like so. To make it even smoother, I'm going to put it here so that it's going to be the size of the letter T, and when it goes down, it's not going to be like on the side. It's going to be exactly like this. Looks cleaner than this, just because it does, because it's aligned perfectly. I'm going to press Fn, F9 here and move it like so, just for organization purposes. Now I would like to create another null, cut it, and I'm going to connect these two to the null. So the trick and the arrow down is going to be connected to the null P. It's going to go down a little bit very quickly. When this is going to appear, even quicker, let's do Fn F9 is in. You can see that a lot of it is just playing with keyframes and seeing which animations look better, which ones look worse, and just experimenting. There's no sort of secret to this. And as these went down, I'm going to duplicate the null. I'm going to connect this null to this null, press on P, to the keyframes, press the keyframe, and I'm going to bounce it backup and F9. And do really easy ease. Actually, when the arrow is going down, we should start this text. Okay, let's take a pause here. We'll see what we can do in the next video with this. If you have any questions, let me know. But other than that, I'll see you in the next video.